I'm Dov Marcus, director of spiritualnursing.com. Today we're going to talk about hope. We're going to talk about what is hope. We're going to talk about, are there any limits to hope? And can anyone or any situation ever be hopeless? It's my hope that by the time you're done watching this, you'll have a different perspective on the whole idea of hope. I am hoping that by the time you're done with this, you'll be able to look at medicine in general and your life in particular and say, wow, if we look at things differently, not only is it a whole different situation, but we can actually change the world. So let's first talk about the definition of hope. What's the general definition? So I looked it up on Siri. I took my iPhone 5S and I said, hey Siri, what's hope? And this is what I got. A feeling of expectation and a desire for a certain thing to happen. So there's a feeling in there. So in order for hope to happen, there has to be a feeling. So you expect something to happen, right? I'm going to buy the lottery ticket and I am going to hope that I win. There's that feeling. If I were to say there's not even a bloody chance that I'm going to win that lottery, I don't know if I would buy the ticket, because to me it would be a hopeless situation. And if I were to buy a ticket, I would probably say, you know what, maybe I have a problem over here. So let's bring this to healthcare. Once upon a time, I took care of a lady who had a horrific disease. It was called pulmonary hypertension. And it was so bad, she was in the hospital and there was no way that she could get out, medically speaking. She was on a lot of oxygen, she was on a medication which always had to be infusing, and she just couldn't move. She was really in a hopeless situation. Medically, she was hopeless. We said it. We didn't say, oh, she's hopeless, but we said, from a medical standpoint, she will never be able to leave the hospital unless she gets a lung transplant. She doesn't qualify for a lung transplant, so she's hopeless. And that was our attitude towards it. And one day I was in her room talking with her, and I sort of had this epiphany. I said to myself, well, here I am talking to this lady, and she was able to carry on a conversation to a limited point, at which time she would get short of breath. And I realized there's got to be a certain strand of hope that transcends the bigger picture. In other words, true, from the medical perspective, she's hopeless. But for me as a nurse, I'm here for more of a reason than to just keep her alive. It's part of my charge as a nurse is to provide spiritual uplifting to my patients. It's part of my scope of practice. So I realized then and there, I created this vision in my head of a big bubble, big circle, right? And I said, we're looking at that big circle. Within that circle, somewhere within that circle, is a very much smaller circle, maybe even microscopic. But you must know that it's there, I told myself. And that little circle, for this lady, microscopic circle, that's her hope. That is her hope. And I decided I'm going to find that. So, now you might be thinking now, oh, well, so what did you find? The whole point is that I found it. I found it through that thought process. I realized that everyone has hope. And my attitude towards dealing with her changed. It was more, of course I continued to care for her. But the way that I went about it, the intention behind the efforts, it was more pure. It was hopeful. It was hopeful. Now, she ended up surviving. That always makes the story super duper awesome. And okay, I contributed. Obviously, I was her nurse. I was one of many nurses and doctors and therapists who took care of her. Am I going to be bold enough to say that she survived because I made a realization in her care? That would be kind of like tooting a horn that at this point, like, come on. That's not what this is about. That's not what spiritual nursing is about. Spiritual nursing is not about me saying, oh, I went in and I healed someone. But I will tell you, and I will be perfectly honest, I know that my realization changed the way I approached her on a daily basis after that. I know it, and I'm absolutely convinced that this contributed to her survival. That's quite a bit of a chunk to chew on for today, don't you think? But healthcare and nursing care is a very, very deep profession and industry. Unfortunately, what we find today is that it's gotten to the point where we're looking at that big circle and not searching for that little dot. This is my mission in spiritual nursing, to teach as many people as possible that within that big circle there is that dot of hope, and it is our charge, it's our mission, it's our responsibility to go in and find that dot of hope and expand it within our patients' lives. You never know. I'm telling you, it really has to do with your perspective. Think about it like this. I've got a patient who I have to go in to see. I gotta go do my work, right? Boy, I don't feel like going to work today. I just don't feel like going. So, do you think that my patient will feel some of that? If I'm not careful, of course. So already I'm showing you that the way we think, the way we approach a situation really impacts our patients' lives. So thank you so much for listening. I am going to give my brain a rest because that was heavy duty stuff. Continue to look forward to new videos from Spiritual Nursing. Go on and like our profile. Do all that fun social media stuff. Tell your friends about it. I'm telling you, we are looking to be that one little dot, of hope that hundreds of patients have told me, Dov, do something about it. Do something about it. I want to survive. I want meaning. I want to find, I want to feel like the system, the people within the system, I want to feel the care. And I'm telling you right now that when you start to look for it, you will find it. Thank you so much for watching and have yourself an awesome day. I'll see you in the next video.